Guys, you won't believe this. Soulless Genshin Impact clone number 475 that does nothing new, that does nothing uniquely, and that doesn't care about its player base is dying. Who would have expected this? Wow, how can this happen?
Tower Fantasy is dead. I know it. You know it. Many of you know it. The devs themselves know it. Which is why this announcement, this revelation from them is...
He almost
Revelation.
got it right. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it.
so interesting to me and to a lot of people. I was streaming earlier today when someone came in.
The look at Asmongold's face when he says that and he thinks he got a zinger. And by the way, I'm in front of the chat. And two guys do a laughing emote, and it does. That's just comedy in itself.
And they asked
Oh,
me,
what a
did you know
zinger.
Tower Fantasy is rebooting the game, creating an
Wow.
alternate version of it, making a Tower Fantasy 2?
What the
And
fuck?
I sat there and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's a
Good.
thing? Why would they be doing that? What would that even look like? And
The obvious answer is, who cares? Money, 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 money. I mean, am I wrong?
I guess we're about to find out.
All right, let's see it. See if it's any good.
MMO
I was
bite.
linked to this thread over on
Tower Fantasy is doing a large-scale game reboot. November 23rd, made a post about remaking the game from the start. And there's a survey for all players to gather opinions. We'll play.
Wow.
Bro, can you please tell them to just DM me?
No.
Like, so they don't just like, cause
No, that's gonna be stupid. You're just gonna say, add more pay-to-win mechanics and loot boxes so I can spend thousands because I'm a millionaire and feel better about everything. Don't do that. Dude, you know what's crazy about this? Why are they asking for player opinions? You make a game, you can track everything that's happening in the game. How much people do this? You have achievements, right? I'm pretty sure Tower Fantasy has achievements and, you know, how many people did X. You just look at what people actually do. Don't care about what people say. People lie. But actions lie way less, usually. And in a game like this, someone is going to say something real stupid because they think it sounds right. But they're not going to do that real stupid thing. Because they value their time. So look at what players do. If you want to learn from your mistakes in a game like this, look at what players actually do. And then just improve upon that. And make more of it.
they'll just waste their money again making bullshit.
Tower Fantasy is doing a large-scale game reboot, possibly a relaunch.
Yeah.
On November 23rd, the official Bilibili page for Tower Fantasy made a post about remaking the game from the start. Tower Fantasy 2, ? And they also made a survey available for all players to gather player
That's a lot.
opinions about what
Billy is some kind of I don't exactly remember what it is, but it's essentially the Reddit of the East or something like that.
players wanted
Or
to
Twitter.
change.
Yeah, sure.
Having played an extensive amount of Tower Fantasy over the course of the last several months, I mean, I did a dedicated video of it after investing several months of my life into
Sad.
it. That went
That's
on
a
to
lot.
get 160,000 views. I can safely say what they need to do is remove that repetitious ball energy collection system.
There we go.
Because that was
Amazing.
atrocious and maybe stop playing at 3.3. They need to make the waifus hotter. They need to...
Yes. The characters suck. That's the problem. There's not enough design. The game isn't vibrant enough. Like, you go and you look at the Genshin Impact characters, and they look way better. You look at Project Mugen characters, they look way better. You look at Fate Grand Order characters, they look way better. The Tower of Fantasy characters are like... It's like if you made a...
Oh, don't tell me Asmongold is gonna get in Fate, because that's a well too deep.
Genshin character through...
I mean, you literally need someone with a PhD in quantum physics to explain you the plot of Fate at this point, okay? And most of the plot is, oh yeah, the moon's a giant. The moon is the predecessor of vampires. Don't worry about it. Vampires. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Thankfully, half of Fate's lore can be summarized. It exists, but don't worry about it. Yeah, no. And Fade Gaming, oh boy, man, oh no. You need you need 3 treasure maps from pirates from the future, past, and present to understand in which order you're supposed to watch the Fate series, and then you understand. Wait a minute, a lot of the Fate shit is not even actually called Fate, bruh.
AI. It's like you said. AI, here's the prompt: new Genshin character with blonde hair, and like it pops it out. That's what it would fucking be. And even that's probably not true, because the AI would probably do a better job.
Enhance.
Essentially, characters in, Genshin Impact style of games in every game need to be hot, because no one wants to play with a fat woman. It's just true. It is what it is. So if you're playing a V game and your characters are not hot, what are you doing? Are you intentionally trying to sabotage your game? Like, the hotter the better. The more tongues, the skimpier skirts, the more jiggle mechanics, the better. Okay? You know how you're supposed to judge anime success? By the amount of Rule 34. And by the way, the correlation is literally never wrong. It is literally never wrong.
The good aspects of the story, which were noticeably better in 3.0 and 3.1, 3.2, they need to focus more on the side activities, the side content, because I think that's one of the aspects of the game where Tower Fantasy really shines. They need to continue hiring Genshin voice actors, because if 3.0 and onwards shows us anything, it is that they are much more talented than whoever they were hiring for 1.0 through 3.0.
Sad.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the official post from them on Bilibili, which was linked to in the thread. There's a survey there for...
Well, the lore sucks. Nobody cares about the characters. That's an MMO, but you never see anybody else. It's pay to win as fuck. Collection stuff was time gated on release.
Time gated.
Like, there's like all this like really stupid shit in this game. There's like a huge amount of stupid shit in this game. This is the problem the game has. Like, it's really not some kind of fucking 5-head, oh, I wonder why it's like this. It's actually very simple. I'm gonna play 1.0. Yeah, of course. I looked at the rest of it. It's the same problem. That's why I didn't come back.
Any of you that are interested in letting them know what they need.
Generic Genshin clone number 5,300,072.3 is bad in everything. Who would have expected that? I mean, dude, if you're looking at a Genshin Impact clone, just play Genshin Impact. It's not that deep. If someone's trying to copy Genshin Impact, why do you think it's going to be better than Genshin Impact? Because it's probably not going to be, because it's trying to copy something it doesn't understand.
Need to change, what they need to implement or enhance or overhaul. Then there are some comments that we'll take a look at as well once we're done. Before we delve any deeper, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon. It will allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos on gacha games like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal. Now back to the video. The official page goes on to read, co-creation retrospective plan, and this was translated, by the way. It was originally in Chinese. This is now in English. Co-creation retrospective plan questionnaire collection to question the planning, understand the planning, go beyond planning. So they're looking to collect questions from players to hopefully understand what players want and implement them.
Right.
Tower Fantasy is about to start again. We're going back and rebuilding the tower.
So they're just remaking the entire game. Like, I really thought it was impressive that they fucked this up.
Speaking about towers, isn't there a Tower of God game coming up or something like that?
Because how is it possible that you can have an anime MMO game and you fuck it up? Like, that's like you've got like everything going for you and you just, what are you doing?
What do you have going for you? Nothing. You're just a generic ripoff of something. Without anything unique. Obviously, you're gonna probably fail because you're just a ripoff.
The Tower of Fantasy. The co-creation retrospection plan will be officially launched from November 23rd, 2023 to December 7th, 2023. So I'm assuming this plan is the survey. And after December 7th, they're going to go ahead and collect all the information and then begin overhauling, begin recreating, maybe something akin to Final Fantasy 14. Because, as you no doubt know, A Realm Reborn was a substantial improvement over the original 1.0 version of Final Fantasy 14 and was much better received. This might be the reception, or this might be the overhaul, the alteration that the game needs to be better received, as 3.0 was a marketable increase in terms of quality. Come fill in the questionnaire and give your...
No, not happening, okay? So, the reason why it's not happening is pretty simple, because they need questionnaires and whatnot to figure out what's wrong with the game. If they knew what's wrong with the game, they wouldn't ask you questions. If they're asking you questions, it means that they don't even know what's wrong with the game. So how can they succeed?
Bald head lit. Your bald head line.
It actually says bald
like
head. What the fuck?
What is that? Like your list of the best bald creators, characters, streamers?
What the fuck?
Like is
the fuck is that?
Would that list include like Asmon, Tech?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Is this Photoshop, by the way? I don't think so.
Shit. Oh boy.
I'm sorry. We look forward to passionate feedback from every pioneer. Jump directly...
By the way, what the hell is it with bald people and playing anime games? They don't even watch anime games as much as I understand. They just play them. It's kind of questionable. How does that happen?
To fill in the questionnaire, Boredom666 says that the plot is weak. There's a lack of character development. I can completely agree with that. I actually noted that earlier. And there's Deepwater Torpedo.
Also, yeah, if you're gonna do a Genshin clone, that's not actually that easy because one of the... literally half of Genshin's draw is the fact that the character development and character plot and character stories are actually really good. Everyone says that about Genshin. Even if you're a hater, you probably should admit that, I guess. So, yeah, good luck creating breathtaking, gripping narratives that people love about characters. That's probably never happening.
Says that we need to adjust the weapons. I also agree, because like 1.0 weapons, 2.0 weapons, they're entirely irrelevant when compared to the 3.0 weapons. And
no, read this fucking idiot's post. Please adjust the weapon power for veteran players who spent real money in Krypton at the time to the current strength. Even in the worst case, strengthen it. Everybody spends the same amount of money, so why should I spend money first and be stepped on by you who spends money second? Players who are persisted... and this is the reason why the game has a fucking problem, okay? It's because the entire fucking game revolves around its monetization. That's the reason why these games suck. It's because the entire game, it's like, think of the game as the Earth and the monetization is the moon. And think about how much chaos we would have in life if the Earth revolved around the moon. Because that's what happens in these fucking games.
Got it. Okay. Usually when you do an analogy that involves the Earth and the moon, you're supposed to make it that when you take away the moon, what kind of chaos happens on Earth because the gravity of the moon. Not that the Earth starts revolving around the moon. Oh gee.
Monetization matters so much, and then every system in the game is built to be a big funnel into the store page. And that's the problem. That's the issue. And you have some games that are able to do a good job hiding that, like Genshin Impact, etc., right? But at the end of the day...
Do they actually hide it, though?
They're trying to get you to go to that store. And that's the reason why these games have problems. It's because every system in the game is built around incentivizing going to the store.
Would not be irrelevant when the 4.0 weapons release. Work Hard Xiao Huang says he wants this to be the equivalent of Final Fantasy XIV. Can you bring back the feeling of group fighting? So this person wants there to be more multiplayer aspects, to have it more multiplayer focused.
Yes.
And I completely agree. I love MMOs, and
why the fuck would you play this game if you could play Genshin Impact? Like, Genshin Impact is better than this game in every single way. So, like, why would you play it? Because it's multiplayer, and you can make your own character. So if you can't utilize the multiplayer elements of the game, why the fuck would anybody play it? I mean, really, like, think about it. It's just that simple, right?
Our Fantasy, for all intents and purposes, is an MMO, and it really doesn't feel like it anymore. Flossy Losi says, if players even give feedback, will you listen? Because
No.
he
Yeah,
goes and
true.
lists reasons that he doesn't believe they will. And you know what? I'm not disagreeing with this sentiment. I strongly believe that they're going to. They have a goal in mind, and that's kind of what they're going to attempt to.
This guy is being extremely, by the way, milquetoast, because every single post actually is, hey, developers, we don't trust you, you're screwing us over, we are the players, and you do nothing that we ask. And he's like, oh, the problem is add smart events back. No. The problem is smart events and the fact that you screwed up old players about this. But this guy is not saying any of that at all. When it comes to the critique of the company for being greedy, he does not say a single thing. Wow.
To create anyway, despite what we think and what we want. Cousin Wang Ji says, in summary, the game is in an unhealthy operating mode, so an unhealthy state right now, but we don't know how to save it, which is very true, because I'm sure you guys are aware, recent numbers for the game put it very low. This graphic here puts...
Dude. When it's the player's fault the game is going under because you did not spend enough money, someone tells you, then you know you're too deep in and it's time to probably stop.
Earnings for this month for global on PC at $600,000, which is almost half of what last month made.
That's really bad.
That is disregarding China, that is disregarding mobile, but
that's still really bad.
Halved on PC globally in the last month, then it's probably similar across the board. But that's what fans on the official Bilibili page have been saying. Let's see.
If the reboot is as huge as Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, I might give it a chance.
Good luck.
I'll play it when it comes out. Sure. We'll see how it is. But
sounds
do we really
not good.
think this is going to happen?
Nope. No.
No.
True. No.
No. Whenever Yoshi P was like, I think we're going to remake the entire game, he read players' feedback, but he didn't make a fucking Reddit post and say, hey guys, what do you want in a new game? I'm pretty sure they didn't do that. I think that every time that like the developers go
I have no idea. Final Fantasy as low as you can get
out and they ask players like for this kind of feedback, sometimes it doesn't bother me, like whenever I think they're on the right path, but whenever they're not on the right path and they start asking for feedback, it makes me very nervous because it makes me believe that they don't know where to go and they don't have any actual vision for the game. They're just like,
yep.
Well, maybe we should do one of these. I don't know.
Again, you have a literal game where it default tracks what people do. And if you can't figure out what people like to do and why they like to do these activities, you're not gonna get anything from a survey. You probably don't even know what to put in that survey. Do you like the login screen? And people say no, and it's like, yes, the login screen. That's the reason why we're failing. It's the login screen, but of course. How did we not see it before? It's the login screen, not everything else.
Gold River asking me else. Yes, exactly. It's a PR move. Well, no, I think they need the help. I think it's both.
what Western players over on Reddit are
Yeah,
saying.
and they make the game for a vocal minority. Yeah, like
It could actually be a slight PR move.
these people aren't the normal player. These aren't the people like, and yeah, it's like you think about it like this, right? So, all right, let's use some logic here. So we're going to remake the whole game to get new players back. Okay, so how do we get new players back? Well, let's ask the old players.
Wait, his logic is actually pretty sound, but no, it can easily be a PR move that people start saying, oh, Tower of Fantasy is getting a remake. They even asked people about what they want in the game and whatnot. They cared about the community's feedback. Because most people don't know, because he is right, he is absolutely right. The current players in Tower of Fantasy are probably people who you need to end their Minecraft character's food supply before they actually can be glued out of the screen, okay? So, the average player will not know this, but it just sounds good. True, it's not a bad PR move, but he is right about this, but even though it's kind of useless.
If the reboot is as huge as Final Fantasy XIV or Realm Reborn, I might give it a chance. The whole Gears score system is what made me drop it. Totally agree. Leveling your Gears score in Tower of Fantasy literally takes fucking months. It is horrible and grindy and just should not exist in the game. The PS5 release was so bad, I don't have faith in anything they do.
Yeah.
PS5 has no...
I like gamers. This is grindy, it shouldn't exist. And then and when you remove the grind, people are complaining that there's nothing to grind for. I mean, there's literally no winning with gamers. Grind or no grind is completely doesn't matter in my opinion, because people are going to complain about the grind or not having the grind if the game feels bad. If the game feels good, and people are not going to complain about the grind being too grindy or the grind not being grindy enough. But the moment the game's bad, oh yeah, we're going to complain about that.
Crossplay either.
PS5 doesn't have crossplay? That's pathetic.
Video on this, that's true. When they released it onto the PS5, they were like, you know,
Xbox doesn't even have a PS5.
What? Let's enable no crossplay whatsoever and have people start from level 1 from scratch. Let's allow no crossplay functionality between players, so you can't play with your friends. It was a mess.
Okay, no one playing Genshin Impact has friends anyway, so they didn't drop the ball there.
I don't have high hopes for this, considering they can't even manage a proper console launch.
Oh,
exactly.
God.
I don't believe they can do much. The company proved to be quite greedy, and that won't go anywhere. So in the end of the game, we'll still have a lot of power creep and pay to win. Well, they need to make money somewhere, and suckers are gonna...
Bro, you already lost when you said they need to make the money somewhere.
Hey, the mobile version was
The thing is, like, yeah, they need to make money somewhere, but there are a lot of games that aren't pay to win. Like, you don't have to make the game pay to win. So, what are we talking about here?
Well, there are also a lot of games that are not pay to win, but they are still pay to win some magically. How? Anyway, I'm done getting boring. This was Quizzer Sid. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.